To get started, we'll navigate to an empty folder. First, we'll create the folder. And this will represent our new project. We're going to open a terminal window. You could choose whatever terminal you prefer. I'm going to use the Windows terminal with Git Bash. In the terminal, we'll want to change directories into the newly created folder. First, we want to create a initialized repository, which we use git init. Now you'll notice the .git folder. This folder is not one that we'll interact with. It holds the repository. We'll want to create a new file, so we will create an example txt. And we'll enter some placeholder text. Now, once the file's been saved to disk, we will be able to see that represented in our status. Git status shows us that file. Now, we can add this newly updated file to our Git repository first by adding it and then by committing it. It's a two-stage commit process, which will be an important detail as we'll see later on. Now that we've committed our file, we can see that the file is available to modify just like normal. And we will also find that we have nothing left to change. When we look at the log, we'll see that we have one commit, which is what we just included. Now we'll go ahead and update the file with some revisions. We'll save that to disk. And you'll see that we have one file with some revisions. We can actually do a differential using git diff. And as you'll see here, when we actually look at the specifics of the differential, we have what appears to be removed a line and then added some lines. What this actually represents is revising the content because we included a new line return. So that appears in the differential as removing the line and adding it back in. So we can add this and any changed files with git add dot, and that will put all of them in a staged selection. Now you'll notice that we can reset, and that puts it back to an unstaged file. The content of the file has not been changed at this point. It's still exactly as we had edited the file. So adding a file and then resetting it will move it on and off the staged operation. Now we'll add and commit the file to the repository. And we can see here in our log that we have both the revision and the original file as part of our commit log, with nothing left to change in terms of our Git history. You'll see the content is exactly as we left it. So there's nothing left to change. If we reset with the soft command, referencing the first log from the head node, we see that we have now undone the commit and put it back to a stage. Now the content is still there, but if we actually go all the way to resetting, we now have the file back to a point in which we had previously made the change. And when we check out, we actually undo the content back to the original version. And you'll see here that we only have the original text. So that revision that we made was uncommitted, and then reset, and now we're back to the original text as we had it. Now we're going to delete the file so it's no longer on disk. When we look at our git status, we see that the delete is a pending change. If we reset, we'll see that the file is still left in a deleted status. But if we check out the file, it brings the file back from the repository history, so we get back to the version of the file as it was last committed.